Welcome back to my channel, folks, Wildlife Ranger on YouTube for all things natural history. I hope today you will embark upon a trek with me to find the next wildflower in our Spring Botany series. Today we'll be looking for a plant known as perennial dog Mercury Mercurialis perennis, which has an interesting tale to tell. So I hope you'll join me on this journey in finding and identifying the plant in its habitat and looking at the plant in more detail. Welcome to my channel, folks, Wildlife Ranger on YouTube. Today we are going to be looking for a plant known as dog Mercury Mercurialis perennis, which is a poisonous plant in the family Euphorbiaceae. Now, you may be forgiven by walking straight past this plant and not actually seeing it. And the reason that you would do that is because this plant is pollinated by the wind, and therefore it has no requirements for symmetry, bright colour or great big flowers to attract insects, because it is pollinated by the wind. So for that reason, you may frequently go by this plant and not see it. The other thing about this plant, and you may be familiar with this from the holly, is that it is dioecious, and that basically means that there are male and female plant stands individually of each colony. And in the case of holly, you will be familiar with this because come Christmas, when you need your garlands, it is only the berry of the female bush that produces the bright red fruit, or the holly berries, from seed. And it's exactly the same here with dog Mercury. Dog Mercury is dioecious, and there will be two kinds of plant. There will be the male plant with the male flower and the female plant with the female plant flower. And here we have a colony of male flowers. Unfortunately, this is not a mixed colony, which does happen. And to look at the female flowers, we have had a look in the woodland further back. So, just to summarise that, dog Mercury is poisonous, it's dioecious, it has male and female flowers on different plants, and the plants tend to be colonies of males or colonies of females. However, they can intermix and have male and female plants in the one stand. So this is the subject of our video today, where we're going to film and look at the flowers, albeit what they are, and in the video that follows we will revert to photographic macro technique to look at the detail of those tiny little flowers, because the flowers are very elusive and very inconspicuous and go unnoticed. The term dog comes from the fact that it has no scent or no value, and it is a poisonous plant. So as you can see, this is the colony of dog's Mercury presenting directly in front of us. So, to summarise the habitat of dog Mercury, it likes disturbed soils of woodland, hedgerow and green lanes, where it will spread rhizomatically in distinct patches or carpets on the darkened understory of woodland. It is also an indicator species of ancient woodland. As pointed out, dog Mercury is a toxic plant containing principles such as methylamine, trimethylamine and bitter compounds known as saponins, and therefore the plant should be avoided. Perennial dog Mercury has a number of common or vernacular names, and if it's accepted that the doctrine of signatories is a form of received wisdom transferring knowledge through the ages, then the terms boggart's posy and adder's bread are likely to deter people from the poisonous plant. A boggart being a supernatural being or spirit. The plant is also known as dog's coal. In respect of the Latin name Mercurialis, it may either be derived from the poisonous nature of mercury or from the Italian physician Geronimo Mercurialis. The prefix perennis is straightforward, telling us that this herbaceous plant returns each year. Before we commence our journey to the field, we shall look at the features and characteristics of the plant which will enable us to identify it and find it in the field. If you wish to study the flower structure in detail, we recommend that you carry a magnifier or loupe. See the links in the description. In the following sequence of images, we shall look at and comment first on the male flower, followed by the female flower structure. Dog's Mercury belongs to a family of plants known as the Euphorbiaceae, or the spurge family. The plant grows 30 to 50 centimetres tall, and as pointed out, the plant is dioecious, namely it has separate male and female plants. The flower spikes are about 25 to 40 millimetres long and branch off the main stem, and they appear between February and May. The plant is wind pollinated, and the flowers consist only of sepals and no petals. From this slide we shall direct the notes to the images of the male flower as they are shown on screen. Here we see the clusters of 4 to 7 flowers along the spike. In the following slides we can pick out a number of features, notably the 3 sepals associated with each flower and the long protruding stamens with the orange anther at their end. These turn indigo blue when they shed their pollen. The male plants are therefore relatively easily distinguished, with the yellow anthers projecting from the 3 to 7 flower clusters along the stem, in contrast to the female flower, which has 2 to 3 flowers. Turning now to the female flowers, which have an interesting evolutionary story to tell. The nodule-like female flowers occur in fewer clusters of 2 or 3 flowers. The female flower structure consists of one 2-celled hairy ovary and a pair of horn-like stigmas on its top. The stigmas have a pleated surface in order to maximize the catching of wind-borne pollen. The female plant, with its vestigial stamen and extra floral nectaries, gives us some clues into changes in its evolutionary past, where once it may have been pollinated by insects and changed its course of direction to wind pollination. But that's another story altogether. As always, the following slide contains detailed botanical information which may be paused at any point for those of you who may wish to study the plant in more detail. Turning our attention now to the leaves of dog Mercury, which appear in late winter. This low-lying plant has oppositely arranged serrated oval-shaped leaves set upon a single upright stem. The leaves are elliptical or ovate, dark green and approximately 3 to 8 centimetres long with a distinctive white midvein. Following clips illustrate the arrangement of the leaves around the stem at right angles, thereby maximising the amount of light reaching each leaf. It should also be noted that none of the leaves of dog's Mercury branch. They are all directly attached to the stem. As can be seen, dog Mercury has a whitish mid-rib. This may be contrasted with other plants such as Himalayan balsam, where the midrib is purple. Early in the season, the plant leaves may be confused with garlic mustard or honesty. Likewise, the main confusion species is its close cousin annual Mercury or Mercurialis annua, which is an entirely different plant. The following differences should be noted. Annual Mercury lacks underground stems and is more branched. Its leaves almost lack hairs, and the female flowers their stalks. Well, that's it from me, folks. Thank you again for watching. I hope you have had an insight into the secret life of dog Mercury, and when you pass it by on the next occasion, you realise there's a lot more going on than what you think. If you have enjoyed this video or found the material useful, please like, share or subscribe and help the channel become successful. I hope also that you will be able to join me on the next track in this series in the Beginner's Guide to Spring Botany, where we may find and identify yet another wildflower. Until the next one, stay safe and enjoy the sunshine. Thank you again for watching.